What's up, guys? This is my first jog since the Twin Cities Marathon, and I just wanted to talk about how I'm feeling, thoughts about the race, thoughts about where I'm headed next, what my plans are, and potential future races that I'm looking towards. Heading into the marathon, I really felt like I was in a better spot than I was. Ultimately, the result wasn't quite what I was hoping for. Time-wise, finished just over 2 hours and 42 minutes. But I did place better than I was hoping to place. 18th overall is definitely a huge win, so I'm super thankful for that. But as far as the race is concerned, I feel like there were a couple key issues in my training block that resulted in my marathon not being quite what I hoped for. So throughout the block, I kind of had this idea in the back of my head that I wanted to work on my top end speed, things like the 5K, 10K, a little bit more while simultaneously training for a marathon. And the results show that in the marathon. However, the results also show that in the shorter distances. So in this training block, I PR'd at the 5K distance by like 33 seconds in a 5K. I ran a 1:14 mid half marathon. Well, projected if I would have actually been able to finish it. Story for another day. Which were both huge PRs. And I would have hoped that momentum would have carried over into Twin Cities, but unfortunately it didn't. I think I might have just needed to add in more things like longer tempo runs, longer long runs, longer midweek, those 15, 16 milers on a Wednesday and a Thursday, versus just kind of balling up all that mileage into the long run and the workout through the week. So those are definitely a few takeaways as far as why I think maybe I didn't perform as well regarding the training block. But on race day, man, that course caught me by surprise. I was prepared for the hills mentally. I knew they were coming around mile 20 to mile 23. I knew that there was going to be some vertical. But what I didn't know is that the course was actually fairly rolling hills throughout the majority of it. So, if you look at the elevation chart on the map, it doesn't look so bad. But in reality, when you're used to training on the bike trail in Sioux Falls, which is essentially flat, those little rolling hills added up over time. So the first 5K, first 10K, first 15K, first 20K, my splits were within seconds of goal pace, which was great. So I was really pleased with that, to be able to, stick with the plan, not go out too hot, not go out too slow, but almost exactly where I wanted to be through the first 20K. Was a big victory. There wasn't too many guys for me to be running with. I spent a couple miles together with one Mill City running guy. But other than that, it was mostly a solo effort, which you know, I hope for a little bit more of a pack running at a marathon of that size, but you know, it is what it is. So a lot of it was a solo effort, which is okay. So coming through the halfway point, all the way up through about mile 16, I could tell the fatigue was starting to build up, but I stayed on pace through about 16 miles. I was perfect. Then, you know, the legs just started giving out. So pace slowed down by 10-15 seconds per mile till about mile 20, and then that's where the notorious hill hit, and you know, it's kind of all downhill from there. So pace dropped to as bad as about a minute slower than goal pace per mile, and you know, I was feeling it. So no excuses. I was able to pass a few guys that were walking, so you know, it wasn't just me that was having a tough day of it. So I feel good about that, and I feel good about the 18th place overall. So I'm super thankful for the opportunity, super thankful to be able to represent Skechers. Yeah, it was just a great weekend, and it's given me a lot to think about. So moving forward, you know, I have a lot of soul searching. Do I want to spend another huge chunk of time, you know, 4 months devoted towards a single marathon, something like a spring marathon, perhaps grandma's? Or do I want to continue to work on that top end speed, something like hopping on as many indoor track season races as I can, maybe target an early spring half marathon, something like that, maybe run the half marathon at grandma's, the Gary B. Orkland half marathon, and then take that momentum and run a fall full. At this point, I haven't decided. You know, I'm going to seek guidance from people that I'm close to, that I look up to, that I respect, and we'll get a plan together. But this race was only a setback. Slight disappointment, but still thankful that I'm healthy, that I'm able to run, that the momentum is going. So yeah, we're gonna keep it rolling on into 2022. So yeah, thank you for watching. Stay tuned.